We are now going to just briefly mention future years and give each person a couple of minutes to talk about their city, their bid, whatever. The first year is for 2010. If anybody is interested in 2010, please come up.
Hi there. Would you like to go first? Shall I?
Go ahead.
Okay. So as you know from previous SMOFCons, San Jose is bidding for the SMOFCon in 2010. We have a letter of intent from the Fairmont Hotel, which is a 4-star hotel in downtown San Jose. There's, I'm sure as you know, lots of things to do in San Jose and in the Bay Area. Weather is, in the 70s. The chance of snow is less than zero, basically.
Aww.
I know.
California has snow.
Yes, just not in downtown San Jose. Let's see. Room rates, according to our letter of intent, are 119. Single, double, triple, quad. The committee, as I announced last year, hasn't changed any. People want to ask me who's doing what, that's fine. Or I can reiterate it if people like. It's a smoke-free hotel. It is approximately 10 minutes by car. I could actually walk it, many people wouldn't, but from the airport.
San Jose Airport.
San Jose Airport, I should say, yes. Although we are serviced by 3 major airports, right? Within striking range or car range is San Jose Airport, which we are very close to, San Francisco Airport, SFO, and Oakland Airport, OAK. You should be able to find a direct flight into one of those. And that's about it. I'll let Mary Kay present, and then I think we'll take questions.
Hi. If you don't know me, I'm Mary Kay Kare. I live in Seattle. This past year, I talked Potlatch out of their chintzy hotel into a nicer one. And Sunday morning, the Sunday morning brunch at Potlatch, I said, this would be a swell hotel to put on a SMOFCon, and the entire table volunteered to be on the committee. So,
Did you get it on tape?
I have their names signed in blood. The Decca was built in, the Hotel Decca was built in 1931, and in 1938 was on the American Institute of Architects traveling exhibition of the 100 most distinguished buildings in America. It was completely renovated and redecorated in 2004. It's got flat panel TVs, DVD players, the thingy, by the bed. The clock radio, all the clock radios have an iPod docking thing. It's got one of the most beautiful lobbies you'll ever see. It's modern Art Deco, and it has conversation spaces all over the lobby, which are just great for little, group spaces and little group spaces. And the 16th floor, which is the top floor of the hotel, consists of 3 suites, one of which is the presidential suite, which we used for the con suite at Potlatch. And the con suite at Potlatch is as important to Potlatch as the con suite at SMOFCon is to SMOFCon, and it worked beautifully. There are 2 other smaller suites on that floor, both of which will be occupied by convention people. I asked the Hotel Decca for pricing structure for 2 different weekends, December 3 through 5 in 2010, and January 7 through 9 in 2011. The hotel rooms, in January, the hotel rooms will be 10% cheaper than they are in December. The function space will be 60% cheaper. Frankly, we can't afford this hotel in December. So we're bidding for the January 7 through 9, 2011, because, like I said, function space is 60% cheaper. It's in the University District area of Seattle, which has a lot of different kinds of restaurants, as well as a wide price range of restaurants. It's 5 miles from downtown Seattle, where there are a great many restaurants, which I will be happy to recommend to you. There is the Science Fiction Museum, the Experience Music Project, and the Asian Art Museum all nearby, and I recommend them highly. And Kim is looking at me like she wants me to shut up.
I think we should open it to questions so that both of you can take turns talking.
Okay.
Both of you are located near the 2011 WorldCon bids, more so obviously Seattle. Should the respective local WorldCon bid win, would you drop out because it's unlikely that people will want to go to the same location within 8 or 9 months?
Okay, I'll take that first. I am not involved with either bid, so it doesn't matter to me, right? SFSSC itself may take some supporting roles in either bid or either convention should they win, but we're not heavily involved in either one. So for us, we're not, you know.
I also am not involved in either bid. A couple of people who have indicated they want to be on the committee have sort of peripheral involvement in the 2011 Seattle bid, but I don't think we have any problem with committee. I hadn't frankly considered the problem of not wanting to be in the same place twice in the same year, but you know, Seattle's a really wonderful town and you can't possibly visit everything in just one short visit. You really need to.
Mike?
Glenn, which weekend were you bidding?
We're bidding the first weekend, December 3rd through 5th. Traditional weekend, and we're not paying for our convention space at all. So, it comes, unless we trip badly, we have no charge on our function space.
The prices I have for our function space and rooms were all given to me before the economy cratered, so I prefer not to quote any of them, but I'm happy to give you those proportions.
Warren and then Mary.
This is for Mary.
Mary
talking
Kay.
Mary Kay, sorry.
Thank you.
You're talking about doing an early January bid. Now, there's been some discussion about whether that's a good idea or not. Something that it seems to open up to me is the possibility of bringing in college students who are rather bogged down in exams in early December. Would you make a point of marketing to younger con running fans?
Well, certainly, we are happy to have everyone, and I hadn't thought of that particular advantage because, well, it's been a long time since I was in college. But if we have some, I'm happy to have them, and we will look for them. That's an excellent thought.
Naomi?
This is Mary Kay. So the weekend you're actually bidding is the first full weekend in 2011.
Yes, January 7th through 9th.
Okay.
And I saw Ben have his hand up.
For Mary Kay, since she's the one bidding the non-traditional weekend, what effect do you think there will be from the fact that you're suddenly getting right into the middle of the beginning of the convention season with lots of committees that have to be planning their conventions that they're going to be having over the next couple of weeks? What effect is that going to have on the attendance at your...
I only know of 2 large conventions that happen in January. One is Aresia. Is there anybody here from Aresia? The other is Confusion. Anybody here from Confusion? Okay.
And Chattacon.
Oh, okay. Chattacon. You know, there's nothing I can do about the prices. We can't afford to do this convention in December. The prices they quoted me for December function space are nearly $12,000. Yeah.
That's not in my budget.
So unless you want to, you know, raise the membership to $125.
Okay, are there, okay, Rick?
I actually heard Ben's question somewhat differently. Actually, in a certain sense, I'm not as concerned about Regia because the week before the con, if we haven't had it organized, it's probably game over. Actually, in a certain sense, affects the February cons like BossCon more. So I think you really need to consider, you know, how many cons are in February, and you know, how many people are attending or running cons in February? I guess is the question I'd like to ask.
How many people actually think it's a problem?
This is actually beginning of
Yeah.
so.
Actually, since there are other cons in January as well, how many people are also running cons in January?
Right. Yeah, I mean, people are here in December when they're going to be, you know, we saw those people who raised their hands for Aresia and Confusion and Chattacon, and they're going to be running a convention in a month, and they don't think this is a problem.
How many people are dealing with the aftermath of Thanksgiving going into holiday season?
And yeah, see, that's the big problem for me is that I skip SMOFCon on a regular basis because it totally screws up my Christmas holidays, and I'm a big Christmas fan. It just really messes with my schedule.
Any other questions for Jody?
Would the two of you consider swapping years? Should one of the WorldCons actually be elected? So that we're at least...
Well, one of the WorldCons will be elected.
Not necessarily. Would you, I mean, just because it was pointed out that it's the same calendar years, but going back either a year earlier
Well,
for a WorldCon or a year later isn't as unpalatable.
It would, what, you mean, if Seattle won, slide to 2012?
Or vice versa, New England? I mean, how locked in are you to your proposal? Is it only for that year?
My LOI goes out to, expires in like the beginning of 2010, but I'm sure I could renegotiate it, but, there are other people who have spoken for those dates, right? I mean, once
We'll find out.
Yes,
No,
we'll
no, no. I meant the two of you literally switching years.
What?
You're both switching years. I'm sorry.
This is
I'm
for
sorry.
2010.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It wasn't the way it came across,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah,
It's January 11th.
It would be January of 2011, but it would be the 2010 SMOFCon.
Yeah,
Okay.
Finish year.
We could have both. Yeah, personally, I don't see a January convention interfering with February times anymore.
Okay, two more questions. Kevin?
It's more of an observation about calling San Jose nearby to Reno is approximately like calling where we are here close to Detroit.
Well, yeah, I know
So
that.
I really object to that as a Bay Area resident.
Okay, I saw one other hand. Yes.
Have either of you, or both of you, given any thought to anything innovative about your programming or any specific theme you might emphasize?
We have already, our committee has already discussed programming. Our theme, we intend our theme, should we win, to be knowledge transfer, because we suck at it. And, no, really, we do. And Angela and I, we've been programming, we have already discussed some possible programming ideas. And one of the things, for example, I'd like to do is run a workshop with an actual person who, writes instructions for a living on how to write effective instructions.
Okay. So, as we've mentioned before, our theme is the implementation of innovation and going from the brainstorming to the actual part. And my programming guy is someone by the name of Tom Whitmore, and he's worked on a bunch of ideas to do, which I'm not really at liberty to divulge quite yet, but he's got some very clever ideas up his sleeve, and they are going to be very different, I think, than what people usually see.
All right, let's pepper them with more questions next year. I'm sure that we can have more fun then, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And feel free to...
Yes, I typically have to talk to anybody at any time about anything, but especially when I
I did confirm the bid was true to its word. Its website is up.
Very good.